Yo, what's up everyone? How's it going? Hope you can bear with me here. Still working with 2 cameras, but we still gonna bring you food today. Today we're doing a little bit of some pescatarian dishes, or dish I should say. We got some salmon, we got some mac and cheese, which I learned this way to make mac and cheese, which totally blew my mind when I was working at a steakhouse. So I'm gonna show you that today, and then just some good old pan-seared asparagus. Always a good complement to any dish. So to get started, we have, as you can see, pasta boiling right here. There we go. We're gonna get that set ready to go, but the first thing we're gonna start with is our mac and cheese sauce. So we're gonna move this real quick, and I'll begin. So we got our shallot here, like always. Shallots are always a wonderful addition. Gonna top and bottom them, and then we'll split it right down the middle. Luckily, we got 2 shallots in one, so we'll use the smaller one to start. Won't need too much of this, especially because it's mac and cheese. All right. After you get it peeled, I cut it in half, so I just could lay it flat, and we're gonna do a quick chop. Nothing too fancy. Just a nice small chop. There we go. And then we'll go the other way. There we go. Finish it up. They don't have to be even. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're not really looking for anything other than flavor. So now we got that going. We got that. I'm going to set that aside. And then we're going to get our garlic. Now we got a nice clove of garlic here. Probably about 10 inside. We're just going to cut it like a cake. And pull it out. Oh, it almost fell. There we go. And then that saves the rest of your garlic clove so it doesn't go bad. On top of the fact you got your beautiful clove of garlic. Now we have to de-shell this as well, so we're just going to top and bottom it. Make sure you get that root off. Alright, at the bottom is the root, and that's where that sits. Get that off of there. We're going to peel it. Now garlic is super sticky. Easy way to peel is to put it down and then with the big thick part of your knife, pop it, and the shell comes right off. Now we're just going to chop this up a little bit. This one you want to be more fine. You really don't want big chunks of garlic as you eat your mac and cheese. I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't. We're going to chop that up nice and fine. Get all those big pieces out of there. Perfect. Alright, so we'll turn our pan on. We'll get on high. Throw a little oil in there. Let it get set, ready to go. As we wait for that, we're going to stir our pasta. Make sure that's not sticking together. In this, I put in some salt. You always want to season your water when you're cooking pasta. It'll add that flavor, that extra bit of flavor to it. While that's getting set, I'm going to wash my hands off real quick. Garlic is super sticky. Going to move our shallots. Going to throw our garbage away. Alright. As this gets set, by the way guys, if you need a light, let me know. Last time I didn't use a light because there was too much of a glare off of the pans. So maybe we'll just put a little one on. How does that look? That might work. So our pan is heating up here. We're going to go ahead and add our garlic in. And we're going to go ahead and add our shallots in. Alright. Now, because you diced up the garlic real small, it'll get brown real fast. So you want to keep an eye on it. I got my nice rubber spatula here. Perfect in this occasion. And as you stir it around, you'll be able to smell the garlic and shallots caramelize, which is exactly what you want. Oh, I hope my camera doesn't fall here, guys. Hang on. Technical difficulties. You know, cooking over a stove. There we go. So now you can hear that pop and sizzle. That's your garlic. That's your garlic and onions caramelizing. So what we're going to do, normally we deglaze with white wine. We're going to deglaze with heavy cream. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm going to use this whole container. it's 1 pint, and that'll be perfect because as it reduces down, I use a little less. I left about 1/4 of a pint left because as it'll reduce down, and then you'll add your white wine in. And what white wine will do is add that flavor. You'll cook the alcohol out of it, but you'll get that sweet flavor from the white wine, and that's what changes this whole thing and makes it completely different. So as you can see, we got a little bubbles rolling in the center. What you want is once the whole pan starts to bubble, then you'll add your white wine. Our pasta's coming along pretty well. Almost there. You want it nice al dente because then we're going to add it to the sauce. So I'm going to turn down the heat a little because we got our white wine, or we got our heavy cream boiling, and then I'm going to add our white wine in. Probably about 1/2 cup. And then as you can see, because you added your white wine in, it cooled off the pan. So we're going to wait for it to come to a simmer again. Or we're going to wait for it to come to a boil. Boil for about 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to bring it back down to a simmer. And once we bring it back down to a simmer, all that's going to come together and thicken up and turn into a sauce where we'll add our cheese. So as this is going, it's moving along quite nicely. We're going to turn on our salmon pan, nice medium heat. Throw a little oil in there. Make sure our camera doesn't fall on top of this because that would be absolutely terrible. And you can already smell the white wine as it's starting to boil. I don't know if you can see, but those bubbles, it's thickening everything together and making everything delicious. So we're going to go grab our salmon right here. This is a super quick meal. Anybody can do this. It takes about maybe 20 minutes tops. And the only thing you need is salt, pepper as a seasoning. Everything else comes from Everything else comes from the ingredients you're using, like the lemon, the white wine, the heavy cream. So we're going to salt our fish. Don't need too much. And then we're going to wait for our pan to get nice and hot. We want the pan to get real hot so we get a nice dark sear. So I'm going to set this aside. But a nice room temperature. I'm sorry, not room temperature. A nice cool fish. You don't want it too cold, because then all the water inside will make it, not make it what you want. It won't give you a nice hard sear on it. So we're going to watch the sauce. It's boiling nicely, so we're going to bring it back down to a simmer. Turn it down to low. And at this point, our pasta should be done. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's nice and al dente, and then you taste that. You taste the salt, like the salt water. It gives it a nice flavor, so you don't really need to add anything, but it always complements. So we'll drain our pasta now. And then we'll just set the pasta aside and keep it nice and warm. At this point, we're going to get our pan hot for our asparagus as well. So I got a nice bushel of asparagus here. You know, just your normal, about maybe 1/2 inch thick asparagus. So what you're going to want, right where they put the rubber bands, almost where they put the rubber bands, about 1.5 inches up. So right where your joint on your thumb is where you want to cut. Take that bottom part off. Now this is the bitter part of the asparagus. You don't necessarily want to eat it, but you can use it towards other things. Like you could puree it down for obviously asparagus puree. Add a couple things to it. Asparagus pesto puree or basil or whatever. So I'm only going to use part of this. because we won't need too much. So I'm going to put the rest aside. And our sauce is coming more to thicken up. So at this point, we're going to add some cheese in. I got your grated Parmesan. I'd prefer grated over the like the powdered, the shaker Parmesan. This gives it a little more texture and it melts a little easier into the sauce. So we're just going to spread that around in there. Won't need too much because the heavy cream will do most of the thickening. And as we put it in, make sure you always want to mix it together, because otherwise it'll just clump up and then you'll have clumps of cheese and not a cheese sauce. And that'll slowly melt in. Patience. Patience is everything. Now a little more cheese in, and we'll be set to add our salmon into the pan. So I did about 2 ounces of cheese there. Not too much. So we'll add our salmon in. Oh yeah, you hear that sear, guys? Perfect. That's exactly what you want to hear. Always wash your hands after raw. Oh, that just sounds so beautiful. Make sure you have a good amount of oil in, or a really good non-stick pan. If you don't, the salmon or any type of fish is going to be extremely hard for you to lift off of the bottom. So our sauce is thickening up here. The cheese is mostly melted. You can see a little bit of the shallots and garlic pieces, but nothing too chunky. Make sure you scrape those edges. There you go, guys. That'll give you a little better idea of what the sauce looks like. You'll be able to move your spatula through the pan, and as you move, it separates. You want it a little further than this. It's a little liquidy right now, but it's close. It's really close. So our fish is looking pretty good. You can hear it hasn't sizzled as hard as it was. So we're going to flip it over. And fish always takes very little time. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. You got a nice sear on there. And when you touch it, it's firm. It's not soft. Let's see, how do I put it? It slightly gives, but you can tell that it's cooked. There's a slight give to it, but you can't push your finger all the way through. So the sauce is almost finished. About 45 seconds to a minute longer. Make sure you get all the heavy cream came to the outside, because it's thickening in the center, so make sure you keep stirring it. So it doesn't stick to the bottom. If it sticks to the bottom, it'll be super hard to clean and no fun. So we're gonna oil our asparagus pan. Our pan should be nice and hot, and we're gonna toss our asparagus in. Alright, at this point we can add our pasta in. Now you can always make a little bit at a time. That will never hurt. There we go. Oh man, I'm so excited for this. Oh, and we got our asparagus sizzling now. We want a nice char on it, so I'm gonna turn our sauce off, and I'm gonna cover it, and that's gonna finish cooking the That's going to finish thickening it up, as well as the pasta will absorb the sauce. We'll cover that. Put this to the side. Now, our fish should be close to done once you press it, and it feels like you're pushing on your own. If you push on your forearm, that's how you want your fish to feel. Nice medium rare to medium. If you like it well done, you can of course cook it well done. Totally your preference. At this point, we are gonna cut our salmon, or cut our lemon. Just do a quick couple thin slices. And we'll add that right to the top of the salmon. And as it sits in that hot pan, it'll pull in that lemon juice. So we're going to toss, oh yeah, that's what you want. You can start to see, you might not be able to see, you should be able to start to see some of the asparagus has blistered. And that's what you want. Right when it starts to blister, you can season it. A little salt and pepper. There we go. We're gonna fix that again. Sorry about the camera guys. So we're going to keep moving this around so it doesn't burn on one side. It gets a nice even coating on all sides. At this point, we're going to take our salmon off the heat, and we're going to finish it with a little lemon juice. So I'm going to cut off this side here. All you need is just the edge. That's all I did. I squared it off. And then what we'll do is we'll just take that and squeeze it right over the exposed fish. Oh yeah. You can hear it start to sizzle too with that lemon juice. As we toss our asparagus, the way I like to eat my asparagus is a little bit of a crunch. I don't like it falling apart once I eat it. So I just blister the outside and season it slightly, and then I'll pull it off quick. So we're going to go back to our sauce and start to toss it. We're going to toss our sauce. Toss. Make sure none of the pasta is sticking to the bottom. But as you can see, it stayed together pretty well and didn't separate. The heavy cream didn't get too hot. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice and gooey. Sticking. The pasta absorbed all that extra cheese sauce. Nice and thick. This is going to be wonderful. So I'm going to take the asparagus off the heat. Looks like that's finished. A nice hot pan will always give you a nice char on your asparagus. The hotter the pan, the better, but if you have your pan too hot, you want to watch it more. You got to give it a better eye. So I'm going to toss out our extras. And then guys, it's time for plating. And voila, you have a dish in under 30 minutes. A 5-star dish in under 30 minutes. So we're going to add our mac and cheese right onto the side. Oh yeah, get all that nice gooiness on there. Leave nothing extra. We're going to get some of our asparagus over here. Nice and hot, right out of the pan. And as you can see, that's the kind of char you want all along of it. We got it all around, like the entire asparagus shaft is fully charred. So we're going to lay that right next to our pasta. There we go. And then for the creme de la creme, our fish. cooked nice and medium. We're gonna place that right over top. Beautiful. And look at that. Look at that, guys. You have a 5-star dish at home in under 30 minutes. Alright, let's taste this. Gotta get my fork and knife out. Actually, I don't even need a knife. I'm just gonna cut this salmon with the fork. It's gonna be so nice. Oh, look at that. It just pushes right through. You can see the steam coming off of it, so it's nice and hot. Hot. Oh man. You get that lemon. Like, it's nice and juicy. The fish is juicy, but at the same time, it's fully cooked with a little bit of crispiness on the bottom and a little bit of crispiness on top, but just enough. And then you get that lemon flavor right at the end, right on the back of your tongue as you finish eating it. Oh my God. Incredible. All right, let's try the mac and cheese. Again, pasta's cooked perfect. You want it just al dente and then finish it in the sauce, so it's not overcooked, it's not mushy. It has a nice firm texture to it. And then the sauce, you get that shallot and white wine flavor in there. That's exactly what you want. It's sweet, but at the same time, extremely cheesy. And we got our asparagus over here. Our nice charred asparagus. Salt and pepper to finish. Oh, seasoned perfectly. It's cooked. You can tell it's cooked, but it has a firm texture to it still. It's still a crunch. And guys, come on. 30 minutes or less, and you get a dish like this, and I maybe spent $20 at the store. You can't beat it. You can't beat it at all. So guys, I'm gonna go finish this because I'm absolutely hungry. I don't know about you. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Thank you for stopping by if you did. This will be on YouTube again, as well as my first one, so don't forget to miss it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next Friday. Have a good one. Oh, absolutely delicious.